Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bussin' with the Boys. This is episode 221, I believe. Am I correct in saying that?
Correct. Yep.
I just don't know why, like, every single time I do this, I don't just, like, figure it out before we start the episode. A little stuffy in here today, boys. A little adversity going on more ways than one. We're getting the bus painted right now, which is kind of a redundant thing to do because we have a pretty twisted partner coming on, dude. We got a pretty ridiculous partner coming on with
Budweiser had their opportunity.
They had their ops. But because of that, standings happening, AC was off, windows have been up. There's a little bit of heat going on the bus.
Kid Rock's reaction video.
Kid Rock's reaction video. Will is barely here with us right now. Will is on his deathbed, but that's the kind of person he is. He is going to sit on this bus. I don't know what his word count's going to be today. He's out there. He's a distraction guy. Like, he's an elite athlete. We got him in the field. We got him out there. Like, we got to make sure we cover this guy, but he's got a broken fucking leg.
Taylor's the performer today.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the sideline hyping him up.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm playing hurt right now. Yes, I am playing hurt. I just got off pink eye. Vocal cords a little bit still inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little weak. Taylor is going to be the fucking star player of the show, and you guys are going to absolutely love it. It's going to be electric.
You look really cool today. You got a lot of natural tones on everywhere.
Thanks,
it's a cool
man.
vibe. You got like a nice spring going in a summer vibe. You look fantastic. You might feel and sound like shit, but brother, on the exterior.
But I tell you, I feel much better than I sound. Like,
Yeah?
let's just call a spade a spade. I just sound like shit.
There was some rumbling in the back about why would Will come in here when his throat sounds like that with pink eye, all that. Boys, we know Will doesn't believe in the vaccine. He doesn't believe in medicines. So he's just going to keep on fucking riding. And if we all get sick, dude, fuck it. If we all, hey, I'm running the show, brother. The personnel's in right now. We're in 12. You're not in right now.
You need some water. I'll wait till you need some water.
Yeah, until I need a little bit of water. And then we could talk about that some more. But let's get into the nitty gritty of the situation. That is a Chevy Silverado. You know we are truck guys through and through, and the Chevy Silverado has been a partner with unstoppable grit and determination. It's been our most valuable truck. And now the first ever all-electric Silverado joins the franchise. We got a chance to see this thing in action and experience it. It's a game changer. Available 400-mile range, GM estimated on a full charge, over 10 feet of length in the bed with a multi-flex tailgate combined with the multi-flex midgate, large 17-inch diagonal display screen. That's like an iPad on steroids, right? That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of screen time, boys. It can tow up to 10,000 pounds on max towing, 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds, which is
my 40 time.
Yeah, here he is. See, my roll guy today. And that is in WOW mode, which we're speaking with Chevy. We are still saying that it is a working title. Up to an impressive 785 foot-pounds of torque. Still trying to land our finger on what torque means. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more. As we said, dude, kind of running solo today, kind of not. Will's on his phone. The boys are back here. We're dealing with a lot of stress right now. I will tell you this. Thursdays are for the boys. Last week, we started out with some high vibe stuff, and I want to keep that fucking train going, dude. I just want to hear one quick thing from the boys while life is doing wonders for you right now, while you're just happy to be alive. Garrett, we'll start with you, who was also on his phone. Why are you happy to be alive, bud?
That's a good question.
Oh, God.
You caught me off guard.
I know, because you're on your phone, right?
Yeah.
I was just checking my comments.
Yeah. I was catching my
always in the game.
My followers.
Checking your followers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get you on something because JP's got a nice little thing going right now on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Jack's just ascending into
I don't want to steal that, but that's a pretty cool thing going on.
Yeah, you can't steal that. That's 100% JP's thing.
So we'll let JP go.
JP owns
JP?
Push Up Tuesday.
JP, what are you happy to be alive for? Apparently Garrett's he's questionable right now about happiness.
Yeah, it goes without saying the push-ups are going well, but the weather is turning. So I'm happy about this warm weather.
Let's fucking go, dude. It really is. And it's been the longest spring I think Nashville's ever experienced.
2 weeks.
Ever.
It's crazy. Right after you talked about how Nashville
that's also
springs.
how like time works in life, right? Like we were already near the springtime.
Taylor's eating his words.
Other places were already feeling the spring, and I was like, man, I can't wait to feel what they have over there. And now we're feeling it. 2 good solid weeks, then a nice little rainy week. Not a nice rainy week, then a rainy week. Now it seems like we're jumping into summer a little bit. We're hitting those 80s, so I'm still correct in saying you get 3 weeks of spring here. We'll see with the fall. Hopefully it surprises us with a whole month in October. That'd be fantastic. Jackie, what are you excited to be alive for right now? Because Thursdays are for the fucking boys.
I think that it's only been 24 hours. We have our new office set up, and we're trying we're trying to get comfortable in it. And I'm seeing the future of our office and like what the potential it could hold. And it's got me kind of juiced. We're starting to hang up art in there. Our first art piece.
I saw your art, by the way. It's a great first edition.
It costs a lot of money to make. So if any of the people out there want to make a GoFundMe for the boys, start donating some custom pieces, we will hang them up. So I'm excited for our camaraderie because I've been on this bus the whole time. So I'm excited to be with the boys.
That's outstanding, dude. Nothing like Jack panhandling at the end of a comment, dude. That is fantastic news. Happy for you, brother. Happy. Blasi, what are you happy about to be alive right now?
I would say JP and I had a few conversations about the weather as well. So I want to double down on that. I've been on record saying that I'm a cold weather guy.
Woof.
But this weather change has really got me thinking whether or not I'm going to stay true to that. Because going outside, the activities, building up that good sweat, going for a nice run, bike ride, whatever. There's something about that sweat that you don't get during cold weather.
Yeah.
And I think I'm turning.
Makes you feel like you're doing more. You might do the same workout as you did in January and in May, but all of a sudden, for whatever reason, you're walking away going, I fucking did something today. That's good. And also, Buzz, you've gotten a lot better on the mic, too. I didn't feel any nervous at all. You felt fucking confident right there, brother, and I loved that. You
confidently gave a shout out, no free shout out. I'm still wanting to know why you're happy to be alive.
You okay? Are you okay right now? Positive vibes. Thursdays are for the boys. I'm still wondering why you're alive. Basically, just that.
Why he's happy to be alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the weather's changing, dude. You know what he is? You're happy to be alive because you're also in growth mindset. You're willing to change your opinions. That's the beautiful thing about being on a podcast, dude. There's receipts every single day of what we say and what we do. And you able to sit there and basically hit a 180 with us right now saying cold weather might not be as good as warm weather, which we all thought you were crazy to begin with. But you finally come to that conclusion by yourself. What a reason to be alive. Incredible, brother. Incredible. Hey, watch that word count now. Watch that word count.
Just let me know when the punt team needs to hit the field.
Mitchie, what you got, brother?
I guess I'm happy to be alive because this past weekend went to an EDM festival. Just got to see all the boys.
Did ecstasy and got after it.
Just had an amazing time.
Yeah. Who would you go with?
I went with my roommate down here, and then I met because I live down in Charlotte, so I was hanging with those people. My girlfriend, all her girlfriends came down. We all had a blast. We saw Dead Mouse, Zed. Yeah? It was a good time.
You guys you don't have to say yes or no, but did you guys take any extracurriculars?
I didn't. Others did.
Nice. Did you think about it?
I did think about it.
You did what?
I did think about it.
You thought about it? What was the deciding factor for you not to take any of those extracurriculars?
I just didn't know if that was the place I wanted to be during.
Yeah, EDM festival and ecstasy usually doesn't mix. You're right.
It's just it would have been my first time doing stuff like that, so I was like,
Yeah. I mean, I've never done it, but I know people that have done it, and they say that that's probably the best time to do it.
Yeah, I've heard the same.
Yeah,
I just wasn't quite.
All ecstasy is MDA with a dash of something, MDMA with a dash of something else. Gets those endorphins real high. Now the next 4 or 5 days, you're not so happy to be alive, but that day might be the best day to be alive. Yeah. You're feeling like a fucking king during those 4 to 5 hours. Transcendent. Garrett, what you got for me, brother? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Up on it over here.
On it. All right. Yeah, Will, what are you happy to be alive for, brother? Let me hear it.
I'm happy to be alive. A positive thing going on right now. The boys might be closing a deal.
Do I know about this?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, the deal that I mentioned.
No. The boys might be adding somebody to the team.
Yeah.
Underneath the umbrella.
A dish.
But that's, we're not at the finish line. However, productive conversations going on.
There's a level of excitement when you get to grow a business.
Yeah.
And that's where you're feeling the most excited to be alive right now.
Yeah. That's a positive thing going on right now.
Yeah, that makes you excited to be alive.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love it. Things that maybe not so positive, maybe positive for the NFL landscape, but not so positive for maybe the players playing to make that NFL landscape a little more broad, not just a North American thing. The London schedule has been leaked. And the boys in the two-tone blue will be playing the Baltimore Ravens in the UK. Very cool when you look at it on paper. As a player that's played in London, you look at that and you go, man, that's going to be fucking dope to do it. Let me let you know a little secret. That shit fucking sucks. It is absolutely fucking terrible. I've told you the schedule before. I will tell you one more time what happens. You're going to practice all week after a football game that you've already played. Nicks and bruises all over the place. What's the worst thing you can do? Get on a plane. What's a plane do? Adds inflammation to your body. The longer, the worse. So boys, when you're flying across the pond, that's a bit of a flight, right? You're going to practice. This is how we did it. There's a lot of guys that can do it differently, especially when you're on the West Coast. When you practice in Nashville, what we did, practice on Thursday. You practice on Thursday. You guys' bags are already packed. You get changed, showered, the whole thing. You go to the airport. Once you're at the airport, you get on the plane. The doctors will give you something. They'll give you a pill. They'll say, take this. You take that pill, all right? It's like limitless, except for sleep. You will now sleep the entire flight.
Ambien.
Yeah. You will now sleep from Nashville, Tennessee to, where are we playing? Where are they playing?
London.
Tottenham.
Hotspur Stadium? What's Hotspur Stadium?
London.
Oh, is it cool? Is that like a historic stadium? That like because Wembley, you look at Wembley and you're like, oh fuck, that's sick. JP, what you got? Is that a cool place to play?
Yeah, no, it's like one of the bigger Premier League teams in England. Yeah, it's like loosely Ted Lasso.
Okay,
I was gonna ask that too.
Yeah, that's a nice little pull right there. Let me see. That is a cool stadium. That'll be dope. And it's such a unique experience. You get on the plane, you take your Ambien, your limitless drug for sleep. You kind of sleep for 8 hours until you get there. Once you land, they will tell you, go put your stuff away. We have to go to practice. Now, when we were practicing there, we were on a field that literally is just a field. It's never been manicured for athletes to be on. You do like some sort of jog through, kind of get the juices flowing, trying to run out that jet lag. But I'm telling you, that field's got ruts, it's got holes, it's got a whole bunch of shit all over it, but you're not moving too fast, you're going to be all right. Then they tell you don't fall asleep until 7:30 so you can reset the old clock. That time between practice and 7:30, you are truly sitting there thinking to yourself, all I want to do is fucking sleep. Please, God, just let me sleep. Finally get to sleep, you feel a little bit better the next day, and then after that, you go play the game. Then they tell you stay up the entire way back. So you're doing bare minimum sleep, bad for soft tissue and for injuries. However, when you get in that stadium, the accents that are yelling at you are way different. People get way excited when those special teamers come on the field because that ball is going to go in the air off a foot. What a feeling that is for them for whatever reason. They're absolutely loving it. It truly is a Will Compton dream scenario. The fucking punt team comes out, he gets that kick set in, and people are just absolutely loving it when that ball touches that foot.
Apparently you forgot about my interception and 10-tackle game over in London.
Oh, did you? Is that in London?
Yeah, not on the Titans. Remember, I got to skip that one about Washington.
I got to skip that one. You did play in London.
In Washington, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that because I thought you missed out on that because you did miss in London because you had a hamstring.
Yeah, in Tennessee.
Will faked an injury just to not be able to go.
That's false. Don't be putting that narrative out there.
Will didn't want to. That was back when BPC was allowed. You could have played.
No, I had a grade 2. In the middle of a tackle on kickoff. Just FYI. Buffalo Bills, look it up.
Buffalo Bills, look it up.
We also win that game if I'm in on third down instead of somebody else, and I will not mention his name.
On third down?
Yeah, there was a play on third down that we gave up on LaShawn McCoy.
Could have been probably Wesley Woodyard.
We're not going to say names.
Was it Wesley Woodyard?
It wasn't a starter. It was a role, but we're not going to say names.
I can't think of who it was.
We're not going to say names.
I did get a call from Wesley Woodyard the other day because when David Bakhtiari was on this podcast and I was absolutely soiling the NFLPA, which I stand by. Where were we when he called?
Colorado.
We were in Colorado. Did
you call him back?
Yeah, I called him back. And you know, hey, Wes is a great dude. I love Wes. Wes works for the NFLPA now. Now, what I've said about the NFLPA, they fucking suck. And the NFLPA does suck. However, Wesley, I think, is a good dude. I think whatever he's doing, hopefully he's doing a good job to push that cart so it's not such a torrential downpour of horribleness.
No, you're not pushing it.
What's that? Oh, I'm definitely not pushing that cart. I ran away from that cart. I would love to Trojan horse that cart.
It's crazy how you kind of flipped. Like when Bach was on here, your tone was a little different.
What do you mean?
Now you're going back to going rogue.
Yeah, I'm going rogue because there's no one here to check me. Like when we have JC Treader on here, I can't wait for JC Treader because I'm going to look like a fucking idiot. He's going to come with all the facts, all the things, and I'm going to sit there with just my opinion with nothing to back it up and look like a damn fool. And when that time comes, I will gladly lay down my sword. But until then, I've been wronged. So for that, I'm anti-PA. But Wesley called me. We had a good conversation. He asked me, hey, man, just lay off on the NFLPA stuff. So
great job.
So I fucking did it, right? Right, Wes? We did it, buddy. bit of a deal. Let's get some predictions in there for Ravens and Titans. Because the Ravens seems like they're fucking juiced to the gills right now. They got Odell over there. They got a hell of a wide receiver core. Lamar's back. Apparently, Lamar wanted to be there the entire time. He's doing his interview. His hair looks super cool when he was doing it, by the way. Highest paid quarterback. You know, people say he could have played last year, but he didn't play because he was in a contract negotiation. Now this dude's got all the money in the world that he wants. Jackie, do we think the Ravens beat, or the Titans beat the Ravens?
Yes, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
That team, you can just tell that team is not going to be good traveling across seas.
You can just tell?
You can just tell the OBJs and Lamar Jacksons of the world, they're not going to be fit to go to London, and they're gonna take advantage of the plane right over. They're not going to be hitting the Ambien.
They might have to get off the plane because of Odell.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, exactly.
Nice pull.
Can you buckle your seat?
Nice pull.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know the Titans just we're a sleeper team, literally.
If there was a team to be a sleeper team, the Titans are a sleeper team. So, no one is saying this Titans are going to be good this year.
I think Titans take it 35-13, crushing them.
I think 35 would be more points than we scored the whole entire last season combined.
I'm hearing people say it's going to be a reload and not a rebuild.
So you're going with him on that? You're taking Titans?
No, I'm playing middle. I'm playing middleman.
That didn't sound very middle to me.
You'll have to wait for my pick come week of.
What week is that? Week
6. Just enough time to get some new blood in there.
That means their bye week's going to be week 7. Not a terrible bye week.
The shitty part of the schedule, there's one team on there.
Jacksonville.
Back to back.
I actually don't think that's shitty for Jacksonville. Will was pointing out October 1st, Jacksonville plays the Falcons. And then October 8th, Jacksonville plays the Bills. Do I think Jacksonville wins both those games? No, I think they go 0-2 across the pond. However, I don't think it's that bad. That second game, they're going to be much more ready to go than the Buffalo Bills.
You've already sold me.
Just like that?
Not because of that, but because you get to spend a week now in London.
Yeah, you get to spend a week in London. Now, well, that's actually a really good deal, except for their bye week's going to be week 6. They'll have the whole week 6 off, able to recharge the batteries and go attack the rest of the season. But I think a back-to-backer is the move.
Ask this question just for the clip. Ask it like this too. Are the Jacksonville Jaguars going to become the London Jaguars? I think we got to ask ourselves, are the Jacksonville Jaguars going to become the London Jaguars?
You ready?
Yeah.
I think at this point we got to ask ourselves, are the Jacksonville Jaguars going to become the London Jaguars? That's
a great fucking question. Your voice
is that the possibility?
We needed that.
Is that what we're thinking, boys? Imagine the AFC South includes a Houston team, a Nashville team, an Indianapolis team, and a London team.
Matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
I want to say last year they were talking about a team in London. Yeah, a team in London.
Yeah, but how would that work?
Well
you play,
and it was the Jaguars, right?
It wasn't a like expansion.
No, I think no. I think Jacksonville was in that conversation because the owner of Jacksonville must love it. Also, Arthur Smith loves going to London, and you knew any opportunity.
Well, if you're a coach, you love going to London.
No question. What a time.
Yeah,
that's exciting. But as a player, holy fuck, dude, it's such a tiring game. We
grind.
2016, we could. Was it 2016? It was 2018.
Yeah, you guys went for 2.
Went for 2. We should have won. Which I guess it was the good. I mean, I'd rather go for 2 than go to overtime. I'd rather go for 2 than go for overtime.
Did we not get the 2?
We didn't get the 2. We scored though.
Yeah, because I remember Vrabel just fucking holding up that 2.
Yeah,
you're like, yo, fucking nuts in the
wagon.
Nuts.
And if he would have got that, it's like just another Vrabel situation.
I have a question. So, like in soccer, what is it? Relegating, where like the bottom team in like said league or division gets dropped to basically like the triple A's of the Premier League. Do you think that should happen in the NFL, where the worst team in the league every year then gets swapped out with a UK team?
No, I do not. That's yeah. I think that's ridiculous. One, the Titans would have been in it. 2014,
the worst team this year.
2015, we would have been in it.
Well, yeah, you would have got to go to London.
I would have been, been out there playing in Germany somewhere. No, dude, because that next team that comes up, it's like every year, it's like, okay, bring up these guys from the UK that are going to get fucking dummied for a year. Everyone gets a dub from them, and they just go back down. There's no way, unless there was an actual setup.
There are some holes in this theory, but I think it could work.
I like where your head's at, Jack, but I think that's we're nowhere near that right now. The NFL's monopoly.
What if the worst team is like stuck in London for a year? Not like relegating.
They can't leave?
Like all their games.
Some sort of some sort of camp they have to stay in and do manual labor. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm just saying like their home games are now in London and they have to travel. And like once then the worst team, if there's the worst team, then has to take their spot. And they get like back to the States.
I like that idea better.
I like
that idea. The worst team has to stay in London.
Yeah. And then like
that would be not only would that be a hell of a deal for the team that gets last, it would be such a weird shot at London. Like, we're going to send our worst team every year to you guys. And they have like the worst facilities and stuff like that. And they're just all mad. Why would you do this? It's like, 1776. That's why.
Exactly why.
That's the reason why we're doing this, dude. Yeah, that could be. I like that better than the other theory. Not going to say whose it was. I'm just saying.
Bro, there's a working theory.
There's a working theory. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And you're right. There's no bad ideas in a brainstorm. That's on me. That's definitely got to be on me.
Also, have you seen what English people eat for breakfast?
Yeah, it's that toast with the shit on it.
Well, I will say there was no good food I had in London.
Yeah, there's no good food in London. That shit, what is that? Didn't look bad at all.
And they all smoke cigarettes.
All right, dude.
Cigarettes are way cooler than vapes. I was actually thinking today, when I was doing my rehab, I was like, man, we should bring back cigarettes over vapes. Bring them back.
Are you going to pioneer that? That'd be gross, man.
If I was just on here smoking a dart.
Yeah.
Everybody would sound like Will right now.
Yeah.
Wild shot at the vocal cords. Try not to yell.
You do have some, like, your vocal cords are my right knee. Like, my knee to me is your vocal cords to you. Like, you never know when them bitches are going to go out.
No doubt.
You have no shot.
I saw Morgan Wallen. He's got to push his tour because his vocal cords are weak.
Yeah, but he's out there singing 36 songs every other night.
You think it's easy to do what I do?
Will's voice. I talked to Will this morning.
It's easy
Will
to do
and I
what
was
I do.
supposed to meet at 11. It's noon when we were shooting this. At 11:48, I was like, "Hey, are you coming in?" He goes, "Yeah, I've had 2 meetings. My vocal cords have been downgraded to doubtful." Like, that's a massive difference. And this guy's singing in stadiums to Will had 2 meetings.
Well, hang on. We all know I just recovered from pink eye. I had an upper respiratory deal going on. The vocal cords got inflamed and dried out. And I'm recovering from it. How much better do I sound than?
Not that much better at all, dude.
Here we go. Here we go. Now I'm back.
Yeah. You're back?
For a second, just from a minute ago.
Don't yell, brother.
You want me to yell?
Dude, you sound terrible. And you've already gotten me sick once this month. And I just feel like, am I going to get this? I've never heard of
No, I'm not contagious. I'm not contagious anymore.
No, that's what they all say, dude. That's what they all say. When people get pink eye, I've never, and this might be totally off. I might just not be educated. I've never heard of somebody getting a throat thing too. I think that's.
Look it up.
And I'm not joking. I think that's chlamydia. Like, chlamydia affects the eyes and throat.
No.
I'm not joking. That's a real thing, right?
Yeah, but that's a web.
So Will doesn't have pink eye. Will has chlamydia possibly.
That's a WebMD deep dive that you guys going down the wrong rabbit hole.
WebMD is the worst thing ever created. AI is out there though. I don't trust AI for a second. AI scares the shit out of me. In some cases, viruses and bacteria that cause pink eye can create issues not only in the eye but in the throat as well.
See?
So you're just a uniquely sick cat.
Yeah.
You're uniquely
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did not adequately rest myself after, whatever I had
Saturday. Well, we were up to like 2 a.m. on Saturday.
But I'm saying that week prior,
Mhm.
because my voice started to go out before my pink eye came.
I can't believe this much time's passed. But if you guys don't know, Will Compton is our most recent champion on Risk. If we'd like to give him a golf clap real quick for that, because that is
Wondering if that would come up.
Yeah.
Didn't know how sore of a
Congratulations
for you.
Congratulations, Will. I'll speak for Will. It was the greatest.
I will correct you.
Yeah, it was the greatest. It was truly a movie what happened while playing Risk. Now, when we play Risk, we play on Xbox. The boys get on the mics and we all talk and chat and everything like that. And we do a thing called ticking, which is short for politicking. I text Will 7 hours in advance to Risk and saying, because Will and I, when we play, tip of the cap to both of us, we respect each other's game. But we also know that neither one of us want the other one to win.
Ever. If we can't win, we can't let the other one win.
Yeah. If we can't win, we can't. So I said to Will, 7 hours before kickoff, I go, hey, is this the day we finally lay down our swords and work together and then sort it out at the end? Will obliged. He said, yeah, we can do that. Little did I know this little Cocker Spaniel right here was also talking to his boy, Brad, who is, no disrespect to Brad, he's an absolute fucking puppet when it comes to Will. He'll literally do anything Will says.
Time out.
When it comes to,
hey, can't let you disrespect the boy
special
right
teams
now.
isn't on right now, brother.
What are you saying? What was your quote?
He's a puppet when it comes to
history is written by the victors. So if I need to correct the story,
that is true. History is written by the victors. Brad will do anything Will says when it comes to playing video games. Anything he says, especially when it comes to Risk. Now we start playing. For those of you who played Risk before, Australia is the one you want to get immediately. If you can obtain Australia in the first round or two, because it's only one border you have to protect to allow yourself to get a bonus of 2 soldiers all the time. Brad ends up winning that 3-4 in. I get a real big stronghold in South America. Things really looking good. Will is a nomad. I'm in my head trying to help Will in this game. Let's get him set.
But Taylor can't help me because we are apart from each other.
We're too far away. So as the game goes, you collect cards as you're attacking people and winning over territories back and forth. I've acquired 7 cards. I see Dennis Kelly, who's looking like an absolute strip club. He's got 1s all over the map. And I'm thinking, man, I'm close enough to him where I can actually take him out if I just trade in a little bit early. As I'm doing that, your boy's a little banged up, so I'm not looking at my phone as much anymore because I'm strategically trying to take out Dennis to absorb him and take his cards. I take his cards, look down, and Will goes, I get a text from Will while I was in the middle of it saying, I need you to hurt Corey. I did hurt Corey in the situation. Will, what'd you end up doing that really just fucking pissed me off?
Your story is really interesting.
What do you mean?
Just how you're telling it. I get it, though. It's from your angle.
Yeah, because I'm not on your side being like, I need to text Taylor.
Well, I know. All I'm saying, do you mind?
Go ahead.
So when Taylor hit me up, I was on board with doing what he was saying. However, changed a little bit. The reason why...
It didn't benefit Will.
Right. I wasn't established. I was probably the only guy in the game that wasn't. I had some in Asia, which is the worst continent to try to control.
You don't want to be in Asia.
And then one in Europe, and then another one in Africa. Gonna try to keep my voice alive. Now, if you look up any risk strategy, you want to acquire a continent as fast as possible. Typically, Australia. If not Australia, South America, because you only protect 1 border or 2 borders. They're either coming down through Mexico or they're coming over from Africa. So Taylor in the first round gets South America.
Yeah.
Taylor's already getting a bonus of soldiers every round.
2 people each time.
While we all try and figure out what we're all trying to do. Brad can get Australia, but they're kind of fighting over it at first. And I'm like Taylor said, I'm kind of a nomad. The whole time Taylor builds to get his 7 cards, there's a part of me that placed mine in Brazil. Or not
Clear
Brazil, in Africa.
Clear throat.
Sound better?
Yeah,
for a minute. Better. Now, while it's going on, Taylor's asking me on the side to try and pick people off for him. But Taylor is the alpha of the board at the moment. I need Taylor being the alpha to help me figure out what I'm trying to do. So
now,
then...
Hold on, put a pin in that real quick.
Then that's
to go off of what you were saying. I wasn't in a position to help you at that point because I was so essentially located in South America.
But I told you, I said, I want Europe. I need you to hurt Corey.
Right.
And he decides to start taking over North America. He leaves me alive. However, I see where this is trending.
Because I could have killed Will. I could have took Will out and the game would have been over. However,
no. You couldn't have got all the way to Asia. Why would you want to try to kill me?
That's how I got Dennis. It was going into Asia. Dennis was the side of North America and then over into Asia.
But you would have been spread way too thin
I was spread way too thin after I got Dennis.
If you would have just saw blood in the water and just wanted to take me out and lose the game, like, yeah, maybe you could have got me, but...
I could have got you instead of getting Dennis.
No, you were thinking about either.
I literally said to you, I could have killed you there, but I didn't.
Yeah, my one player in North America. My one little 3-piece.
No, I could have taken you out of the game.
No, you couldn't have.
Okay.
Anyway,
carry on. By the victors.
Yeah, it is. Like, at the end of the day, you were trying to decide between Brad and Dennis who you should take out.
Yeah.
And I talked you out of Brad.
Yeah.
So that way, and then when you didn't take care of Corey, when I needed you to help me out, that's where you made your mistake.
Well, that's where I made a mistake, but that's my biggest mistake was trusting you in general, because the whole time Will is cahooting with Brad and they're talking back and forth of how to essentially let Brad win the game, because Brad is in the second best position, which long-term is the best position being in Australia because you only have 1 border to defend. I ended up taking out Dennis. Then Will trades in and takes out my shit.
I'd take away his bonuses because Taylor owned so much of the board. He was going to win. He was going to win. He wanted me to do stuff. And ultimately, I seen it as he was just going to take care of me until he had to kill me. And I didn't sit right with me. It didn't sit right with me.
Which we literally said we're going to look out for each other. I am not the game. I can't decide where people are put in the game when we start.
But I'm still trying to win. I'm not just trying to be the little brother the entire game.
That's where ego got into it.
So
Will's ego gets into it.
Taylor just fucking sees black. All he cares about is taking me out, and he couldn't because he was too far away from me.
That's not true. I was livid. There's no question. I was so mad.
You called me a cunt.
Yep.
You called me every word.
Yeah.
We went back and forth. I said, I don't give a fuck.
Actions speak louder than words.
I'm not letting you win this game.
So, which is true. I called Will a cunt. I called him a lot more things than that too.
Yeah.
But I also didn't act on my anger. I sat back and I was like, hey, I need to reestablish whatever it is that I had going on here because I made a mistake taking Dennis and not taking Will when I should have took Will, even though I thought we were a team.
You couldn't have took
Now,
me out.
This is where I decided that my ego can't get the best of me in the situation. Looking back on it, horrible mistake. I am now depleted. Corey is depleted. Will is our only shot to take down Brad because Will is all the way across the globe. There's no way for Brad to get him at that point. So I get on the mic and I'm openly saying, Corey, we have to save Will Compton so that he can take out Brad. I came to this conclusion on my own. There was no more. Will and I, communication was cut off. After about 5 rounds, I hit him back and I was like, are we ready to get back on track? Because I was like, okay, I think we can do something here to really Will can fix the issue he made with me in my head.
Brad, or he saw an opening to where he could probably pull it off and he goes, hey, and then put ... And then goes, are we ready to get this friendship back on track? And I just put look at you. Fuck you.
Yeah. All texting me the whole time. So for whatever reason, I'm like, we got to help Will because it's the only way we can stop Brad from winning. So Corey and I joined forces, essentially have borders that are non-protected from each other and are just attacking Brad and allowing Will to take South America and get stronger and stronger and stronger until it's finally fucking time. Now, there comes a point in this game. This game lasted 4 hours, by the way. There was a point in the game.
Way too long.
I'm sitting in Africa with about 17, not Africa, the border of Africa and Asia. I don't know whichever one that is.
Can I chime in?
You may.
So they started to hate Brad so much because
Brad says nothing.
Brad had Australia, and I was like, Taylor and I were going at it. We were at each other's neck, but I'm like staying quiet because I sounded like
and
shit.
His throat.
Yeah, and
because his throat.
So because my throat. Yeah, for sure. But they're sitting there going back and forth with Brad the whole time. Taylor and Corey decide to conspire the whole time. When me, Corey, and Brad were also in the chat being like, hey, we know we cannot let Taylor win this game. So when Corey sided with you.
This is, no one ever wants to see me win. That's great, dude. I love that chip on my shoulder. I'll take that.
Hang on, you said it, though. It's the person who starts off the best. They're always in the worst spot because everybody's like, we can't let this motherfucker win this quick.
And this is where there was a long time ago when Corey had essentially the entire map and made a couple of horrible moves and lost it. And it's been titled the worst loss in Risk history by far. And now when Will and I are going back and forth and we're like basically assaulting each other over the mic, Will's trying to play that biggest loss. Like Taylor's now the biggest loss.
It's one in Risk history. It was top 3.
It's not top 3 because essentially what Will just said is you start grading the map, everyone's now conspiring against you. Corey had that opportunity halfway through the game.
Have you guys played Risk? Oh, so you have no clue. Jack, you kind of
half the people listening to this podcast, this is for us.
Hang on, there's probably a niche crowd out there that's going to understand this. Taylor, every round, you get 3 troops. Whenever you have a continent, you get a bonus. Whenever you have the majority of a map, you get a bonus. Whenever you trade in cards, you get a massive bonus.
Right.
Taylor
10 cards equals 30 extra troops.
Taylor had he had South America from day 1, round 1. Taylor never saw 3 soldiers the entire game. Not only that, when he took out Dennis, he traded in twice before anybody traded in once. Taylor's troops doubled everybody's, and Taylor lost the fucking game.
That's one way to look at it.
Doesn't happen on my watch.
Doesn't
happen on my watch.
Another way to look at it is I traded in. See, you see what's happening here.
I'm telling you,
hear that in my throat.
Listen, my voice has been shit for a week.
I got to leave tomorrow. I hope.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I hope to God, brother. I hope we don't have this issue again because you've already got me once in May.
Taylor, my voice has sounded shitty all week. If this voice thing was contagious, all the boys would be fucking sick.
We'll see. Also, JP, I love the shirt you're wearing today. So I trade in at 7 cards instead of 10 cards. You should wait to get to 10 cards because I saw the opportunity to take Dennis. I use all my troops in that 7 trade in to take out Dennis to get. So I essentially ended up with weaker borders and the same amount of cards. That's how my situation ended up in the beginning of the game. Now, let's get back to the timeline of the game. At this point, we have gotten Will so fucking strong, it's time to take out Brad. I got a whole buttload of troops, kind of just one nucleus. I have really nothing else going on other than the fact that I'm just here to help Will take out Brad.
And they truly did that. Like, when they ended the round, they made sure to move all their troops that protected my border. And I'm just staying quiet.
He's not saying a word.
I cannot believe these motherfuckers are helping me out, especially Taylor, because we were like at each other's throats.
at each other's throats, dude. But I thought, you know what, dude? If I can't win, the next strongest is Brad, so I want to put my issues on Brad. Obviously, tactical error on my point. So now it's time for Will to take out Brad. He's got enough troops.
Trade in.
He's got enough to trade in. He's got the 10 trade in. It's eerily quiet over the microphones. And it clicks in my fucking head. Oh, I am not helping my friend. I'm helping an enemy. Will, I say out loud, this is the greatest plot twist of all time, isn't it, Will?
Corey's sitting there like he's watching movies, like, do it. Because I could go from Asia south to take out Brad. I had Iceland to take out Corey in Europe, and I had Brazil to move and take out Taylor if I wanted to. I had a shitload of troops.
He had enough troops to go to Iceland and Africa to take out both me and Corey at the same time. And then I'm looking at this map. Corey.
I was like, dude.
Yeah,
like,
Corey.
What are we waiting on? This is going to be biblical.
Corey has no fucking idea. And I'm connecting these dots, dude. Like, oh my God. He's played us. We've played ourselves.
Yeah.
We fucking played ourselves. I go, Will, this is not about Brad, is it? And he just quietly, nope. Over the mic. And I start cheering, dude. Like, I just got, like, truly a movie. Will puts all his shit on Iceland. He puts all his shit on in Africa. And he's going to take me and Corey out. And I told Will, I was like, bro, I know you want to take me out first. Take me out. Because then I don't get podium. Now the shit talking is Will gets 1, Brad gets 2, Corey gets 3, and I'm nowhere to be seen, which is where Will and I both want each other at the end of these games. Is not even to fucking touch podium.
What's funny is there was one point where I thought I was going to die. I mean, it is funny. He
had 10 troops. He had 10 troops throughout the entire map.
He should have took me out. But I just text Brad because I thought Brad could win. I'm like, if you just listen, you can win this game, but you're making some stupid moves. And which
I don't understand because Brad is such an intelligent individual.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this strategy, it could be other strategies he's great with, but this one in particular, idiot. No disrespect.
I told him, I said, just leave one territory of Taylor alive. Let me twist the knife. Because I wanted to get Taylor out so bad. So when I get to have the opportunity to take out all of them, I was like, oh, let's go.
Started taking me and Corey out, takes us out one by one. And Corey and I have 2 bordering countries that are sitting there with 2 little single biscuits on each of them. Not a fight to be had on either. And Will has got about 30 troops here and 30 troops here. And he's now going to make the decision of who he kills first. Will, I'll let you explain what went through your head because I can't imagine why you came to the conclusion you did.
I think because you came around and there was just that little glimmer of hope to where we could still have somewhat of a friendship. And Corey, there's a part of me that Corey talks some weird shit and he makes the worst moves on a risk board I've ever seen in my life.
Corey is not a good risk player.
And he always talks himself into these weird, like, this is what I was thinking, this is why it was right. And so I wanted Corey to get 4th. So that's how I came to that
He takes out Corey instead of me and I get the bronze medal.
Yeah.
Which you could always tell on the mic when someone's hurting because of how much they were talking before versus how much they were talking after the demise of whatever was going on in their game. And Corey was
hurt.
Man, that's crazy. And then kind of be quiet for 10 more minutes and be like, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Corey just talks so fucking slow too, dude. Talks so slow. But yes, what a game indeed. What a game that we got to do that again.
Yeah. If you guys are Risk fans, we need to hear something about Risk in the comments. We hope you guys enjoyed that story.
Yeah. We got to talk about YouTube. Are we being shadow banned by YouTube right now? It's a possibility because John Chris was a phenomenal guest. He's got a great following. And all of a sudden, these numbers aren't really showing up.
A lot of headlines about Jeffree Star. Does YouTube not want us to see us grow?
We were saying
we have on people from every part of the spectrum.
I don't know. Yeah, because we're so
Dana White relationship.
I think the Dana White thing, because that one also barely got 100,000 too.
Something to look into.
Something to look into. But if those of you watching right now who just love to have a good time with the boys, make sure you fucking get on that John Chris one, dude, because we're not going to let YouTube win. We can't allow them to win this fight. I see the next thing on the docket is the NBA more athletic than the NFL? Yes. Next.
No.
What?
No, brother.
Athletically, absolutely.
Nope.
Factor in offensive linemen. You got the scale, brother. Offensive lineman brings our scale way fucking down. Defensive linemen, especially interior defensive linemen, way fucking down. And then you get the guys on the outside who all football players, especially the skill group, love basketball. They fucking are all about basketball. So why didn't they play basketball?
They're not big enough.
Because they weren't athletic enough.
No.
There's some little dudes out there.
Here's my
Fisher.
Here's my argument.
Okay.
If you take NBA players and NFL players and play them across every sport, which league will be more successful across all sports? And I think it is the NFL. Baseball.
I see baseball is my first thought of like, I think it'd be maybe bad across the board.
Bad across the board.
Like I think if NFL played baseball is probably one of the hardest sports to play.
No.
Not like from exerting energy, but hitting a baseball.
Yeah, hitting a fastball is one of the hardest skills.
Hitting a curveball is the hardest skill in sports.
But
allegedly.
I think NFL players have the upper hand on that.
Why?
Because I think we're just fucking better than basketball players.
Yeah, that's good fucking
You know
stats you just laid down. Those are good stats.
There's not NFL players, the boys can play some ball now. You're not going to beat basketball players at their own game. However, there's not an NBA player that can backpedal and cover one wide receiver in the league.
True.
I think cornerback is the hardest position of any sport across all leagues.
Besides left tackle, yeah, I would. That's close. It's absolutely close. Yeah, but you're doing two arguments now. You said all sports. I brought up baseball. You didn't really say a whole lot, and then you went to good basketball players play.
I think as far as like body control and everything else, there's a lot of fucking good NBA players. But I think the majority.
Are you talking about body control? These dudes are in the air for seconds at a time, controlling a ball, moving it backwards. I'm going to put it up. No, I'm not. I'm going to give it to this guy back here. That's wild.
Power, speed, agility, football.
Track. Who's winning that?
Mental toughness. NFL's wiping the floor with the NBA.
High jump?
Wiping the floor with the NBA. You don't think there's some bunnies out there, receiver?
There's some bunnies out there, but dude, basketball is built on bunnies.
Did you not see DK Metcalf fucking jump in the air? You think basketball players are the only ones that can jump? Did you see my 32-inch vertical pro day?
No.
There you go, 32-inch.
32.
Not one person in the NBA got a 32-inch.
High jump record, North County Middle School, 5'10". Will Compton, nasty. However, I'm not arguing myself here, but I think, dude, you're gonna have. There's some freak fucking athletes in the NFL.
Freak athletes.
You're thinking of what? LeBron James, of course.
I'm thinking about all the basketball players. They all can dunk. They all can fucking do the shit.
Have to do anything.
A known
in the air.
Dunk.
They get in the air. They jump way more than all football players jump.
Dog. NFL. There's bunnies out there, bro.
What about what's another sport? Hockey. They're all going to be bad at hockey.
NFL will beat NBA at hockey.
Yeah, I agree.
Soccer, NFL.
Look at that.
Dude, anybody can do a 360 fucking dunk.
60 windmill?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple NFL guys out there. Max Crosby. Just put out my boy Max like that. And he's
Max
white.
Crosby ain't doing no 360 fucking windmill dunk. He can probably do a 360 dunk.
He can windmill too.
He can win, but he can't do both at the same time. Look at that.
That was wild.
That was fucking wild.
Who's
He's
that?
gonna duck his head.
Who is that guy?
LeBron James, bro. We're not arguing best athlete. We're arguing who has the best pool of athletes. And I think it
Dwight
is
Howard,
the
best
NFL.
shoulders in the game.
And he's 7 feet tall.
7 feet.
And he moves like that.
Bro.
You mean to tell me Russell Westbrook, if he trains him.
Oh my God. Look at him.
No, it's very
He's
impressive.
moving his face out of the way of the rim.
That's very impressive.
And you don't even know that person's name.
Yeah, of course. NBA guys are tall.
Hey, I'm about to put on some NFL highlights so we can really get a good basis.
Bro, the basketball is a more athletic sport than football.
No. Listen, for all the NFL boys out there right now, I'm fighting. I will die on this hill for us. And not me.
I wish.
We know who we're talking about.
Yeah, I wish I could argue this with you.
Bro, you would find a more competitive, you'd find a more entertaining league of NFL players having their own basketball league than NBA players playing football.
So false.
I don't know. That's a good point.
Dog,
No.
bro, these guys flop. They ain't got the mental capacity to play in the NFL.
That is also true. But I feel like these arguments keep changing with Will. I'm saying athletically, basketball is more athletic than football. If you switch to sports, I would rather watch basketball players play NFL players play basketball than the opposite.
Bring up the notes.
Antonio Gates never played college football and dominated the NFL.
He wasn't that good.
Antonio Gates?
Hey, relax.
Jimmy Graham, another good one.
Yeah. Nobody could go from the NFL into the NBA.
No, you're right about that. Like, that's a more specific sport. You have to be at least like 6'6" to even get a look in the NBA. But we're talking who has the best athletes, right?
We're talking about who has best athletes.
The most athletic sport, yeah. You're not going to find guys being able to play in the NBA. Like, you're amongst giants. But as far as like pound for pound best athletes, it's going to be the NFL.
Oh.
It's just weird how you keep kind of twisting the argument.
You're like using NBA players' height against them.
Yeah, it's a weird deal.
Okay, hang on. Let's define what an athlete is.
Running, jumping, hand-eye coordination.
That's an athlete? That's part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
What about speed, power, and agility?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Running is that.
Speed?
Yeah. Jumping is
running.
How your body creates power to get in the air. And agility, I mean, you see the fucking handles on some of these guys breaking ankles out there.
So you think NBA players have better agility than NFL?
No.
Then why'd you just try to argue?
Depends. I say across the board, yes. From
across the board, what?
Like a center versus an offensive lineman.
I need to hear you say it. Across the board, you think NBA has better agility than the NFL players?
Across the board, yes. If you're putting in defensive linemen, offensive linemen, yes, because you're thinking about just skill positions. All these guys on the court, and there's less of them. They're so fucking athletic. But at NFL, you got 5 fucking offensive linemen out there. Some of these guys can't fucking touch their toes. I've played with them. I am an elite athletic offensive lineman, and I fucking wouldn't stand a chance with those centers or the other guys in there.
Yeah, but I guess it just depends on what the argument is. Like, if you're trying to find the best athletes,
I'm getting lost.
I know, but you're obviously, like, if you're bringing in centers, like, centers are not that athletic. They can play
Dwight Howard's not athletic.
Dwight Howard is. Taylor Lewan's extremely athletic.
Joel Embiid's not athletic.
He's athletic.
Bam Adebayo's not athletic.
That's
crazy.
The game's changed so much. If we're talking about the 90s.
They have length, skill, and coordination.
And they're fast.
No. These boys are not that fast out there. I would dust them. I would dust them in a 40. Joel Embiid can line it up.
Bro, Bam Adebayo.
You would dust them, but you're a linebacker.
I know. I'm arguing for not offensive linemen. I'm arguing for skill players.
Okay, so if we're going to change the argument again, I'll change it with you. Skill players, overall athleticism versus NBA players. What was that talking about? Everybody but the centers? Everybody but the centers? Okay, I agree with you. Is that what you needed?
Because I'm not looking for you to agree. I'm just saying, like, if the argument...
No, we're having a debate about a conversation. The issue I'm having with this conversation is we are jumping across the board to find where we can say that NFL players are more athletic than NBA players. And I'm cool with that because I'd rather be on this side with you anyway. If you're looking at skill players, receivers and corners versus NBA players in just athletic things, I believe the NFL would win that. Every time.
That's what my argument is.
I don't know.
To me, it's like, who has more athletes, the NBA or the NFL? To me, it's like, are we...
By numbers alone, NFL is going to dust it.
If we're measuring...
Bigger teams.
If we're measuring across how many sports can all these athletes play, I think the NFL player will be able to play a wider range of sports than a basketball player.
If you took the top 5 athletes in the NFL versus the top 5 athletes in the NBA, you think it still lines up like that?
How are we measuring it?
Just based off of other sports and transit.
Baseball, track,
Yep.
Hockey, fucking all of it.
Yep.
Yes, I think NFL takes it.
I think you got to take into account the amount of overseas players in the NBA that probably grew up playing all those other sports too.
We're talking about
Like
NFL and NBA.
I think we found our
Right,
tier
but
talk
if
for
you're
this
going
week, boys.
across other sports, some of those basketball players might be really fucking good at soccer versus like a football player.
Talking about guys in the
America.
NBA right now?
Yes.
Possibly. Chad Ochocinco. Fucking anybody. Line them up.
Anybody, line them up.
We've seen him play soccer.
Let's do this. What a perfect opportunity it is to go into our tier talk for this week. We'll put a little bit of a caveat on it. At the back of the bus, we'll do top 5 NBA players to play any other sport besides the NBA, and Will and I will do NFL players to go against those guys. And we'll leave it to the masses on the internet to decide who is going to win that.
Man, you need a fuckload of data to see what it is.
Yeah, but we're on a bus.
Current players?
Current players. You guys are going to figure out the top 5 basketball players, freak athletes, to go play other sports against the top 5 NFL athletes Will and I choose. That sound fair? You're gonna do the top 5 sports in America. So alleviating basketball and NBA. So it would be alleviating NFL and NBA. So you're gonna do baseball, hockey, track, soccer. Yeah, soccer's probably bigger than track. Yeah.
I mean, track, they
Right?
really don't stand a chance.
I disagree.
On what? On
I think
speed?
the field
I think-
portion.
Like shooting guards are just as fast as like Russell Westbrook's just as fast as the
Who?
NFL.
Tyreek Hill?
No. Absolutely not.
I'm officially taking Will's side on this. Will's done a great job of changing the narrative of this thing throughout. We can go back and look. However, where we've ended up now, I'm now on Will's side. So you guys, let's take 5. You guys find your basketball players, and we'll take our we'll find our NBA NFL players. All right, before we get into tier talk, let's talk about something, dude. Let's not get all parental, but it's time to have the talk. You know, the one with that 3-letter word that ends in X. You'll probably experience it a few times in your life. Not that one. I'm talking about a tux. And when you need a tux, the best place to go to get one is the Black Tux. The Black Tux makes it super easy to get an on-trend, top quality, guaranteed to fit tux without ever leaving your house. Here's how it works. Take the Black Tux fit quiz, pick the style you want to rock, and boom, your tux is delivered to your door 10 days before the day you need it. That's plenty of time to try it on and make sure it wears you well. And hey, if the fit's not quite right, say hello to the Black Tux Fit Guarantee. Order a better size within a day or 2 of receiving the less than great fitting one, and they'll send another right away. No extra costs. And if you prefer an in-store experience, the Black Tux has showrooms across the country. Their expert fit specialists will help you find the perfect style tux on your suit that makes sure it fits just right. Rent or buy the Black Tux is the best place to go when you need tuxedo for a wedding or a special night. And right now, when you go to blacktux.com/bussin, use code bussin, you'll save $20 off your order. That's TheBlackTux.com/bussin, code bussin to save $20. Thebblacktux.com/bussin, code bussin. Hey, see, I didn't fall for that description link this time.
We're not getting got today.
Oh, yeah. You got
Ooh.
too many.
Too many, man. Too many
We
good
got
ones.
6.
on
We're
our
going to do 6.
Whoa.
Yep, we're doing 6.
Add one more. Put somebody who's on the.
Yeah, if you guys are that confident, we'll do 6.
Yeah.
You want me to say them all since you're a voice?
Yeah. Let them know that how we're doing tier talk this week. It's going to be a little different.
All right, boys, we're going to do tier talk a little different this week. Obviously, we discussed it before the Black Tux ad. A little bit of debate has hit the bus. The question is who would do better in other sports? NBA players versus NFL players. They are all playing sports that are not their original sport that we see and love them on their days of competition. The back of the bus will be doing NBA players, and Will and I have made a strong list of NFL players that we are going to put in. We'll let the internet decide, and we will come back Monday or Wednesday next week. Sorry, Tuesday or Thursday next week, and have you. We'll have the results right then and there. Boys in the back, would you like to start?
Do it.
Who's your 6 athletes out of the NBA?
Starting at 6.
Yeah, ours are no particular order.
No
yeah,
order.
we're just
no orders.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all on the team.
All right, our list: LeBron James, the GOAT athlete;
That's a good one.
good one.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak,
Hmm.
the only 7-footer to ever move how any 7-footer has ever moved in the world. The world has never seen anybody like Giannis before.
Yeah, I think we got that the first time.
One of
The
one.
world hasn't seen many 7-footers, but go ahead.
There's a lot in the NBA actually. So next we have Ja Morant, which the highlight reel speaks for itself.
Yeah, that strip club video was wild.
It was.
You don't like having fun?
Would hate to bring up some NFL players' names with some videos out there.
Who's that? Name one.
Antonio Brown.
Thank you, Jack.
Anyways,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Joe Mixon. Fuck.
We
That
got,
was an accident with Joe.
whoa.
I was, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said that.
We got Russell Westbrook, De'Aaron Fox, and number 6. We want a dunk contest guy, or do we want to? Yeah, we'll do Zach LaVine.
I feel good about this.
Yeah. All of them.
3, maybe 4.
All of them. I know them all. Our list in no particular order. Gonna give you guys a spoiler real quick. There is not one white guy on our list. We're gonna go Tyreek Hill. Sorry, boys, you've lost the speed game. DK Metcalf. Odell Beckham Jr. That's all right. You guys go and laugh.
He has soccer videos on YouTube. Come on.
Bro, I've spoke to the boys that play with him at LSU. He can do every sport in a very elite way. So we'll see who's laughing when this thing actually comes to life. AJ Brown, drafted for both baseball and football. Devontae Adams, which we have on good authority. Apparently, Devontae Adams could have actually played in the NBA.
He got offered in college for both basketball
and decided. So there goes JP's argument.
Similar to LeBron and Allen
And it's
Iverson.
our time. Next, and our last pick, our second to last pick, is going to be Justin Jefferson. And we've actually got a bonus 7 for you guys because we've got plenty to go off of. What is that, Will?
Another high draft baseball was Kyler Murray.
We could even do Kyler Murray if we wanted.
Please
We
do.
need guys that are focused. We'll take them out.
Not playing video games.
Not playing video games. We need guys that are focused.
Yeah, but just athletic ability, Kyler Murray is.
Yeah. Better than any NBA player. I love it when non-athletes talk about athletes.
Non-athletes. LOL. Just because we don't get paid.
I love it when non-athletic
LQ in the
when
gym.
non-athletic people talk about stuff. What's that, dude? All right, bro.
I hate where this is going.
Yeah.
Taylor,
You didn't even
Taylor
play
took
a
it to that
sport.
place.
No, dude. JP
You
actually
just
took it to that
took it to that
point.
place.
JP
Very
started it, dude.
personal.
JP started it.
The
I'm
back
just-
of the bus has been begging for a combine. Begging. But I know y'all won't do it until I guess you're out and chilling like us, like normal people.
Muggles is what we call you guys. But also, I have a knee. I can't run right now. I bet I'm faster than you, Jack. Guarantee I'm faster than you, Jack.
I got paid.
You got my 40 time out there.
Money on the line.
You got my 40 time out
That's
there.
fine.
That's laser too.
Oh, whatever you want to do. I'm about it.
I've seen you throw a football. I ain't worried about your athletic
Yeah,
ability.
50 yards.
I've seen you throw a
You
football.
throw
I've seen you
50?
in competition. I've seen you anytime the lights are on you. It's tough to watch.
Taylor.
Football transfers to other sports better than basketball.
Boom.
Taylor, at the beginning of this, you were on the other side of Will's argument.
I think Will change the argument enough to where I can finally agree with him. We saw it.
To the
But
internet.
hey, guess what, Jack? I got a new pet peeve of the week.
What is that?
You're going to find out when we do it.
Should we
Yeah,
get
I
that one
do
kicked
too,
off?
bro.
We'll find out when we fucking do it, bro. That's funny, dude. Whisper it. Yeah. You whispering things over there?
Hey, it's okay. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
I ain't mad.
Next
hanging.
segment.
So pet peeve of the
Pet
week.
peeve of the week is up.
Pet peeve of the week.
Go ahead, Taylor. You're
No,
first.
I always go last. Go ahead, boss. Actually, go ahead, Jack.
I just said you go. Age
Well-
before beauty.
It's technically my podcast.
I'll get mine. Let me get mine out of the way. My pet peeve of the week is losing my voice. a tale as old as time. It happens often. It's always rough when it does, and it takes a while to come back. But my pet peeve of the week is when you lose your fucking voice.
JP?
I'm giving my pet peeve.
Pet peeve.
Yeah.
I was like, one word. My pet peeve. This is top 2 things that piss me off. And since it's summertime, it's especially relevant. It is grown adults, male or female, that plug their nose when they jump into a body of water. If you are plugging your nose and you're over the age of 6, you don't deserve to be at the pool. Or at least you got to have like floaties on or something. I will never understand
What about a cold tub?
No, and I
know. That's what, yeah.
I saw Taylor almost do it when he went underneath the cold tub.
I did do it. I don't know. Almost. I did do that.
Yeah.
Is that what made you think of it?
No, it's something that's always bugged me.
JP's got a couple of things with water.
Yeah.
Got a couple of things.
Grown adult.
Jack?
I'm not going to take a personal shot because I had a nice pet peeve, but I'll let you have your moment.
I will.
But my pet peeve is an airport related one. And it is when you are sitting on a plane for hours ready to take off and they keep giving you all this hope that you're going to be able to take off and you're going to leave. And then after 2.5 hours, they go, you know what? We have to deboard the plane now and your flight has been canceled. It's like at the beginning of it, just be honest with us and say, look, there is a potential that this flight could get canceled. We're going to try our best. But every time they come on the intercom, they're like, hey, we're going to get you guys out of here really soon. We got 10 more minutes and I promise we're on the tarmac and we're taking off. Just be honest with us, pilots. That's all we want. But yeah, pet peeve is basically deboarding a plane and flights getting canceled. It's the worst.
Do you care to share the story that brought this up? Because I heard it from you yesterday, and it was hard to hear you go through that.
It was essentially what I just explained, but I was in Atlanta and I had a 5-hour layover. So at like 11:45, we finally get on the plane and we sit at the gate. We didn't even back up for 2.5 hours. We're all hanging out. They're not even handing out drinks or anything. So we're just like dying on this plane. And they keep saying, hey, 10 more minutes, 15. We're just trying to beat out a storm. And you understand weather. You don't want to go fly through something nasty. But then we end up having to deboard. They cancel our flight. At this point, it's 1:30 at night. And we're sitting in the Atlanta airport. They're all reschedule our flights for the following day at 3 p.m. Like we're just going to hang out in Atlanta for another basically, 18 hours. So I end up having to go get a hotel, spend the money on that. I have to buy a new flight on Southwest because I have to be back in the morning. And then I wake up after sleeping for 2 hours and my new flight has now been canceled. So then I came from Florida. I get on a now 3rd new flight, fly back to Florida just to fly back to Nashville to get home by 10:30 in the morning. And travel can go from being so easy to being the worst day of your life in like a matter of a few announcements. But we're back and it's nice to be in Nashville.
I'm sorry I had to go through that, brother.
Yeah, that's a deal right there.
It happens.
Flossie, pet peeve of the week.
My pet peeve of the week is I had a few coming into this, but it's whenever you go to get a new haircut and you don't go to your same person. You go somewhere new because that person's either booked or you just didn't book an appointment, and you tell them when you specifically get there, like, hey, just don't go above the ear too high. Like you even point it. You give them a landmark on where they shouldn't cross, and they decide to just do their own fucking thing and fuck up your hair. So my pet peeve of the week are those barbers who just decide to do whatever the fuck they want with your hair.
Gotta get that MVP cut, dude. Gotta get that MVP cut. Mitch?
My pet peeve of the week goes to backseat drivers. When you are, backseat drivers. When you're driving, and whether it's somebody physically in the backseat or it's like in your like your passenger seat, and they're like, "Oh, you got to turn here. You got to turn here," or like, it's my dad does this all the time. Like if I'm like driving, and like I'm paying attention, but then like we get too close to a car, he'll freak out. And it freaks me out. And like, I'm like standing on, like I slam on the brake. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't know if you were going to stop. I'm like, Dad, I see the fucking car right there. I'm going to stop. Yeah. Like people that just do that, it makes driving such an fun experience. And like, you're just on edge because like you're wondering what they're going to say next or how they're going to react next. So that is my pet peeve of the week.
watching adult sons interact with their fathers is always a treat for me. I got to experience it with you when we did Supercross and you gave me a ride home.
Yeah, it's
You did that too a couple times with your dad.
Yeah.
And you're like, Dad, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
It was
And
nice.
it's like, dude,
Funny.
It's nice to see it because
we're
you're
gonna
like,
be
okay, good, I'm normal. I do that.
Yeah.
I do that too. That's a solid one. Garrett?
My pet peeve of the week is people that have no sense of awareness. For example, this weekend, trying to have breakfast, but the person next to us has their headphones in, and I know everything about that person now. They just talked so fucking loud, and that shit drives me insane. I was even like throwing out weird little like side comments, but clearly their headphones were loud enough that they weren't hearing me. So that's my pet peeve. Have a little bit of awareness.
Yeah.
And respect.
People walking through the mall too with like no headphones in playing music.
Yeah, that one's tough.
That's another awareness thing. It's like, brother, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Bro, RG3 would do that. He'd walk around the facility. He'd sit down at the lunchroom and just play his fucking phone.
Loud as
Music.
fuck.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
0 sense. And we would all be like, what the fuck? Why is he doing that?
No one ever said nothing?
He was RG.
It was RG. That's fair. Yeah. My pet peeve of the week has changed. I've had enough time to calm down. I'm not going to take personal shots, but it did bring me to a situation kind of similar to this, but also it's like it's not pointed at Jack or anybody in the back. So this is my pet peeve of the week. My pet peeve of the week is when you're watching a sporting event with people and they have this distant like view of reality when someone drops a ball or doesn't make a basket and they're like, "Why? How do you fucking miss that?" And I'm thinking, bro, you're sitting here. What do you mean? Like you couldn't make that shot? Like what do you mean? The guy's running and he drops the ball. It's like, oh, he should have caught that. Like, bitch, you catch it. That shit's hard to do.
Or drop it. Like, I'm one of those guys, if you drop a ball, I'm like, how the fuck? Like, I can drop the ball.
Yeah.
Pay me $1 million, I'll drop the fucking
Right.
ball.
You drop a ball every time if for $1 million.
But I kind of dig that.
You like that?
I like the aggression toward
Dude, it makes me mad as fuck, especially when old men do it. I'm talking to you, Mr. A. Every time I watch a sporting event with him, dude, he has to sit there and talk about how easy the thing is that the guy didn't do that he should have done. And I'm like, bro, it's all good. Just enjoy the game. What are we stressing about? So that is my pet peeve of the week.
some of the beauty in the fandom.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
hope you get to experience that.
Yeah,
It's a
I don't
lot
know.
of fun.
Well, we talked about with John. Like
enjoy
I've
doing it
never
too.
truly become like a fan of something to that degree before, where I've like been so invested like that. I'm looking forward to that someday happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that?
Someday happening. Anyway, happy of the week.
So nothing to Jack.
No, nothing to Jack.
He had
I
him.
would love to hear the first one.
To be honest with you, I couldn't think of one. I couldn't think of one.
The reason he wants to hear it is because he actually got one in before he did the pet peeve of the week.
Oh yeah, he
which,
did.
which will be kept. That will be kept.
What did he say? Because I actually didn't hear it. Look at me sitting like a little boy. What was
I
it?
think he said washed athletes.
Man,
Don't shoot.
dude, it's easy to punch up, dude.
It really is.
It's easy to punch up.
I'm not trying to
Rather
get
be a has-been than it never was. You know, that's always what you.
nice.
Yeah, that would have been nice if you'd said it like 5 minutes ago too.
Well, I heard it for the first time 30 seconds ago.
Hey, I want to take the
reached back and I
time.
plugged the cord back into the wall. Hey Taylor,
love
you know
you,
you
bro.
said
I
that.
love you too.
I love you.
I fucking love you. Hey Jack, I love you,
I
bro.
love you, man. I
I
love
fucking
you.
love you, dude. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I fucking love
I
you.
fucking love you.
I fucking love you, man.
Fucking love you.
I wish Will and I could make up like that. Took us fucking 3 hours on Risk. I wanted to murder him. I wanted to drive to his house, somehow keeping connected to the mic so he didn't know. To fucking kill him in his own house. I was so mad.
Okay, I gotta go to the restroom. Like 10 minutes go by. Everybody's like, "Where the fuck is
Speeding
Taylor?
down the
He doesn't
road.
even Go.
That would have been hilarious. All of a sudden, you just hear my voice over your mic.
Yeah.
All right, motherfucker, say something now.
Oh shit! I got pink eye. Stay away.
Oh, dude.
Will, what's your pet peeve?
I gave mine. Lose my
Losing
voice.
his voice.
Oh, right.
Hey, Garrett, it's talking about
Hey,
awareness
hey,
level.
Will.
He did this. Hey,
Will.
your
speak up.
awareness, this podcast has been at 0, brother. Overall rating's gone down a little
Bite
bit.
my
What's going
tongue.
on?
Overall rating?
Yeah.
Still 4.5. 4.5.
4.5.
Should we do shout out, no free shout out?
Yeah, we should.
My shout out, no free shout out goes to always making up.
Oh, damn, dude. That's
Always
good one.
making up. Like, passion is there. Passion is there. They go back and forth and they realize, like, I'm sorry, man. I love you.
It's bigger
You
than
see
us.
the boys make
It's
up.
big. Yeah.
My shout out.
Yeah. I got to figure out my shout out before this ends. JP. All right, Garrett, I know. Garrett did zero preparation for this podcast. You're right. Tell your buddy.
Hey, yo.
Oh my.
That was pretty good.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude. Thanks for
That's
the
funny.
shout out on my fucking
I wonder
joke.
how long it'll be like awkward, you know?
I know.
Long.
Oh, my shout out, no free shout out goes with the summer theme as well. And you start hearing that, I haven't really gotten anything from this place before, but when you hear the ice cream truck song playing, and that's just a nostalgic feeling. And there's also one that comes around Nashville, comes around here, and there's one around the nations. I hear it. I'm just like, man, I'm about to go out there and grab me a SpongeBob popsicle.
Yeah. And that picture looks so much better than the actual result.
But it still tastes amazing.
Yeah, it does. You know, those ice cream trucks now. Jelly Roll made us millions.
I know. They got a different song playing now.
Yeah, a different song playing now. Solid shout out, no free shout out. Who's up next?
Speaking
Jackie?
of Jelly Roll, my shout out goes to Jelly Roll. I had one of him like a month ago when he won his award at CMT. But when we were in Florida this weekend, he was the headliner at this festival. And I was with all of these like artists that were performing at the songwriters. So they're all like getting everyone here and we're doing film and stuff there. But Jelly's was a ticketed show. So I texted him and I was like, hey man, like, is there any way we could come to the show? And he's like, already got you on the list. Just tell me how many people. I was like, I have 15 people with me. He goes, there's never too many, brother. And I brought everyone who has all these like artist passes and bands. And I'm like, nobody, just this dude filming stuff for him. All of a sudden I now have become the totem pole, the holder. And it was beautiful. Jelly was so accommodating. His whole crew was sweet. And it was the first time seeing him live. And Jelly Roll put on a hell of a show. But yeah, shout out to Jelly Roll and their whole crew. Shout out Boston too.
You and Garrett have really been feeling the benefits of this show. Last week was Nashville Sounds.
Oh yeah.
Getting those tickies. Yeah, and then now the Jelly Roll thing. The glow up, dude. Plus 10,000. I tell you something, Jack?
Yeah.
I fucking love you, bro.
I love you, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
The boys are back.
We're so back. All right, Bossy, what do you got?
My shout out, no free shout out, goes to whenever you're cleaning out your closet or your garage and you find a box that you haven't gone through at all, and it almost feels like opening up a time capsule. I found a box from high school, and I opened it up. It had like concert tickets. It had football tickets from when I went to games during high school. It had my puka shell necklace that I wore in high school.
Hey.
So it was crazy. It was like opening up a time capsule.
That's a fucking great shout out, no free shout out. Good luck, Mitch.
My shout out, no free shout out goes to sort of along the line of what JP said with the weather getting nice. It's being able to put your windows down, turn your music up, and then just put your arm out the window and just drive. And and just play with the wind and everything, and just vibe with the nice weather and good music going.
You get it up to the mirror too.
Yeah.
Make sure you're staying good. You don't feel it as
Hide
much.
behind it.
Yeah, hide behind it so you
Get your head up.
get out of there. That's a fucking good one, Mitch.
Hard one to follow. But my shout out, no free shout out, is going to be when the weather turns and you can finally cut the AC down low in your house.
Mm.
When you're sleeping, it's nice and chilly.
Oh yeah.
Shout out the AC, man.
Yeah, a cold room is the best, dude, especially when you're going to bed. My shout out, no free shout out, will also pertain to the weather. And it's something I feel like I must have just realized it this year. But in the wintertime, when you wake up, you kind of just don't hear anything and you get in your car and you go do whatever you're doing. When spring officially hits, I wake up in the morning and I can hear birds chirping, animals waking up, like the alive activity of nature. And it is a heartwarming feeling, dude. Springtime's here. A lot of eggs are being hatched. A lot of little baby birds are coming out. I see birds all over my house. They're just using it as they're essentially loitering, but they're making their own nests and doing all their shit. It's adorable to see. It's adorable. So shout out birds.
Hey, I think one we cannot miss. Shout out moms. It is Mother's Day weekend. our wives,
Hell yeah, dude.
mothers. And if you're somebody without a mother, it's always an opportunity to reflect on the mom that you did have, carry out the legacy, be there for somebody who might have lost their mother. But shout out to moms, especially, I'm sure you want to shout out the girl Taylin,
Yeah, absolutely.
but shout out Taylin and Charo.
Shout out Taylor and Charo.
Incredible mothers.
Dude.
And the
absolutely.
moms of this podcast.
Just the moms in general. But the moms that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, watching what they put into it.
Yeah.
Outstanding. I was actually driving to go pick up our 4th fucking dog yesterday. 2 hours in the car.
Yeah.
Taylon's in the co-pilot chair, and the kids are back there screaming back and forth. I can't do anything. I'm trying to keep us safe, right? The work that woman puts in while keeping her temperament down, it was extremely impressive because I was getting frustrated.
I tell you what, the patience
is incredible
of the moms, dude. It is a thing to see. Because I'm with you. Sometimes I'll be internally like, hey,
what are we doing here?
Not for I'll pop you.
Yeah.
Drop back. She's 13 months old, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they got to grow up sometime.
And then I'll look at her and I'll be like, wait till you were of age.
Of age. Yeah, dude. Shout at them. Anyway, boys, I think that's a good pod, yeah? Good vibes podcast. A little turbulent here and there. We fucking worked through it.
We did.
It was amazing.
I think the NFL NBA thing will be a nice argument for the internet.
Absolutely. That being said, please subscribe. For the love of God, subscribe. Rate 5 stars. Do all the things. Boost the audio. Yeah?
Boost
big
the
focus
audio.
on audio.
Yeah, big focus on audio.
All right.
Focus on audio. Boys, subscribe.
Big hugs, tiny kisses.